What's up, guys? Boy, I've got something I'm very excited to bring to you. So excited I literally came out from under the house, and I'm surprised I don't have spider webs all in my hair. That was a complete surprise. I cat out here and I was like, dude, you're going to be a mess. And actually, I guess I'm not. But anyway, I have got a Bear Creek Arsenal upper. A couple of weeks ago, they reached out to me and they said, hey, we'd like to send you an upper for an honest review. I've got no problem with the honest review, and a matter of fact, in the comments section below, I'm going to give you guys open opportunity to tell me how we should test it. So now, that's exactly what we're going to do. But first, we're going to slide over here to the tailgate and give you a look at this thing. And boom, here it is in all of its glory. That is the BCA Bear Creek Arsenal Gen 2 side charging 458 Socom upper. Get that slide out of there. These billet lowers are really nice, very tight tolerances. Sometimes it's a little tougher to get them out. Now those aren't blims. Like I said, I just came out from under a house. My hands are a little dry, and I am leaving scale and flake on this thing. So don't let that lead you to believe that it has blims. Now what I definitely like is this reciprocating side charger. That is all right. The bolt slides nice and fluidly. Our lockup is really nice. Of course, here in a little bit, we'll take this BCG out and give it a look. And I'll show you one of the biggest complaints that the guys always had in the forums. You know, like I said previously, I have been in the 458 Socom game since 2016. I recently had to get out of it because one of my flip houses, the bank decided to take 82 days, and I found a buyer for the upper because I kind of can't eat the upper, whereas I can use money to turn it into food. So that was a really good trade-off. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with 458 Socom, oh, I know, that's not 458 Socom. This is your tiny little 223 and 556 round. 458 Socom was designed to fit the same mag. Of course, it'll drastically reduce your capacity because it is freaking fat. This is one of my Lancer mags. Now, those Lancer mags, you always take and knock you a little notch out. That way they'll just feed right out the front without hanging up. That right there is just a little clearance thing you do for these. So these turn these mags into single stack. Whereas 223 and 556 double stack, you can get 30 of them in there. This turns it into an effectively 11-round magazine. So definitely a big thumper. And of course, it shares projectiles with the 4570. You guys know my work with the 4570 from the Henry X. Had a lot of fun with that, so it tickles me to death to get back into a power factor that is similar to the 4570, but has autoloader capabilities. That is really cool. So now, I do have plans to suppress this. They have gone 5/8 32 rather than 5/8 24, and I have ordered a adapter from Rex Silentium. Rex Silentium makes really nice suppressors, and they have got a very nice fixed adapter that is the standard threads. It fits my Hybrid 46, and it will also fit the JK Armament 155 kit that I've got. So I will be running this thing suppressed. We'll be shooting heavy supersonics and then big heavy subsonics. So literally heavy projectile subsonics so that we can be really quiet. Now, inspecting this thing, the only boogers that I see right here, you can see where they did a little shimmy with the gas block. Probably what I'll wind up doing is taking this off. I'll just rub it with oil. That little shimmy should disappear and or disguise. So let's go ahead and take the bolt out and let's check it out. See what we've got to do. I haven't had this bolt out yet. So there, we'll lay that aside. Pull the bolt. I almost forgot. There's the little plug in the back. The little plug in the back is actually pretty neat. What they've done is they've put a flat. That way when you put it on your upper, that flat corresponds and it won't twist out. That is definitely a pretty neat feature. So let's check out our bolt. Looks pretty nice. Feels pretty nice. Gonna have to do a little more staking. It looks like it might have been attempted to stake, but I don't know if it grabbed. So I'll probably wind up staking these gas key bolts just a little bit better, just to make sure it doesn't move off. The staking is usually a little more obvious than that. As for the rest of it, there's no sharp edges. Don't look like any chatter marks. That's all right. So now in assembled form, how does it feel? That feels nice. Got a little bit of ring here in the front. Dampen that with my hand. Yeah, that feels good. That feels as good as some of the rifles that I've ran lots of rounds through and gotten them nice and lapped in. So let's check lock back. Yep, she locks back. She stays put so she don't bump off. I think we're gonna like it. Boom. What's wild about this thing is it feels so solid. It's kind of like if you were to have to get in a battle with King Kong. If you couldn't shoot King Kong to death, you could take this upper and bludgeon him to death. This thing feels solid. You know, my other 458 Socom was a pencil barrel, and I actually did have quite a bit of barrel droop when I put the suppressor on it. My point of impact shift was always pretty big. This one right here, being a heavy barrel, I probably will have much less barrel droop by the time I hang a heavy can on the end of it. So we'll probably be all right. Of course, this rail, they've got M-locks at 3, 6, 9. We've got QDs, and I like how there's QD at the front and a QD at the back. I'm not going to be training with this, but when I train, doing my rifle transitions and whatnot, I always have to take my sling and come back here so I have more room to swim around in the sling. It effectively makes the sling longer. We've got full pick all the way down the end. I like it. So now I think I'm going to wind up pairing this up with a Vortex 1/6x24. I've got their Strike Eagle, so it'll be sitting there in a Burris Repper mount. And that's what's funny is that was the original optic for my 458 when I first got it. So this will wind up being under the same optic that I used way back then. Of course, way back then, one thing that I always noticed, I should have left that bolt out. One thing that I always noticed in the groups is they always talked about feed ramps. Let me go ahead and pop this back out since it's really easy anyway. They always talked about feed ramps. And now that's one of the places that I hope Bear Creek Arsenal has listened to and grown. Yep, sure enough, that is one single groove. 223 and 556, the mags, of course, the mags stack them. You'll have one come out of the left and one come out of the right. So their barrel extensions always have two grooves, and what you'd have to do if you used one of those, you'd have to grind the thing down to where it was like a single groove. I think they've done a really good job with that. It feels like it transitions well. I think that's going to be a winner. I literally am not going to have to hit that with a Dremel. That's definitely a positive. So there we go. And throw a little torque on that. Put our little plug. I've got an O-ring there too. That'll be nice when you're shooting suppressed. Trying to keep a little bit of that gas out of your face. Of course, it stops right there. And like I said, that just coincides with the flats on your lower there. What? Let me get this lined up. Oh, I know what's fighting me. There we go. So that is how that lines up. That little flat keeps it from twisting off. It's pretty neat. So now I'm going to give you guys an option. Do we use the Socom billet lower? Got a Timney trigger in it. Really nice Timney trigger. I really like it. Got the billet parts on it. Got a nice executive ordnance grip. I hate that these guys went out of business. This grip, I bought it years ago. It was like $165, which I guess they priced themselves out of business. But boy, it's not as heavy as it looks. And it's a very tactile, just really nice G10 grip. And of course, contender number 2 is the jack. So, do we want our 458 Socom to have teeth and eyes and a nose? It's got a CMC trigger, the billet parts in it. This is a Tactical Dynamics grip. This thing, I actually ordered this. This was out of their very first batch of black anodized. I got this thing years ago, and it was before they were even putting their logo on it. So, do we run the jack or do we run the Socom? You guys tell me below. Also, make sure you tell me, how do we test this thing? What do you want me to do? I'm sure you want 50-yard groups. I'm sure you want 100-yard groups. I'm sure you want to know how it's done reliably. And of course, you probably want me to come back and tell you how it's done along the lines of build quality, right? Tell me what else. I don't know if I'll be able to take this thing hunting because I already have quite a few in my lineup, but we may be able to put it on some hogs come February. So let me know down below what we should do, and I will take all of it into consideration. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have, please consider subscribing. Hit that thumbs up, leave me an awesome comment, and also remember to check out the affiliate links that I have in the description below. I've had a big time trying to get everything I'm wanting to do funded for the channel, and ad revenue just really doesn't do it. I've left my Patreon open. It's hard to recruit new guys over to Patreon. Basically, the affiliate links, you click on those, they're all vetted companies. I get a small kickback out of anything you send. You get the gear you need, and it literally costs you nothing. But anyway, we'll see you next video. I love you.